Hello darlings, it's Emma here, Timeless Cookery. A bit snoozy and a bit sleepy because I celebrated La Masse at the weekend and drank far too much rose petal wine. I will give you the recipe. I'm not cooking today, I just want to give you some information because this isn't the kind of thing that you would often hear about on the mainstream media. And whilst I'm slightly reluctant to tell you about the sources of my information, am I being scared of being judged? I don't know. If you really want to know, private message me where this information is coming from, but I expect you could check and see if you could find out if this information was true. The first headline is Bayer to pay 10.9 billion to 100,000 people to settle weed killer cancer claims. So chemical firm Bayer that bought out Monsanto, right, has had to pay, it hasn't paid yet, is to pay 10 billion to settle cancer claims. 125,000 lawsuits have been given over its alleged carcinogenic effects. This has been going on for so long, people. It's finally coming, that's the thing, Roundup. It's on all the shelves, in all the garden centres. It's so toxic. It's not something you're going to hear about on the mainstream media, but it's so toxic. They're having to pay out $10 billion in compensation to people who are saying, it's toxic, what you're doing, still selling it. I can't believe it's still on the shelves. Anyway, what I want to say that for is because they routinely spray Roundup, which is also known as glyphosate, all over grains before they harvest them. To desiccate the grain, they call this. They call it to desiccate the grain. So there's a lovely field of corn, there it is, a wheat or whatever, and it's all lovely and ripe and ready to harvest, and they spray it with glyphosate, they say, to desiccate it, which makes the grains fall off the stalks easier, right? So this is for a processing ease. They're using this deadly carcinogenic chemical to help the grain fall off the stalks easier. They could probably do it if they winnowed it. That means bashing it about a bit. If they used a bit of a mechanical thing rather than a chemical thing. The point is, if you're eating non-organic, grain-based products like a croissant, like a digestive biscuit, like a nice slice of bread that you toast and have with butter, if you're eating non-organic, grain-based products, there's every chance that they will have been sprayed with glyphosate. So you'd be microdosing. I'm just telling you this, right, because I know that we have amazing powers of regenerative energy, that we can heal ourselves, but a lot of us are quite broken, and a lot of us have damaged livers and damaged systems. We're struggling, we're in pain. If you have these products, these grain products from the industrial food system that give you these convenience foods that are terribly yummy, tell me, because I've eaten a whole packet of Hobnob biscuits all on my own, so I don't need anyone to tell me, right? They're highly addictive and very delicious, but you will be microdosing yourself with pesticides and herbicides. And who needs that, frankly? So it's just one more reason to find organic or make your own yummy, delicious things that are full of good fats and delicious, crunchy, crispy, yummy. I can make biscuits, I can make cakes, we can make lots of lovely things. Go to timelesscookery.com and get some hot tips, all right? That was one headline I wanted to tell you about, right? Because it's good, because it's coming into the public consciousness now that these things are really toxic, and the law courts are saying big payouts to people because of glyphosate, right? So that's good. So the other thing I wanted to tell you was, this is, this is really interesting. Former big pharma sales rep speaks out. We are trained to misinform. Wow. For 15 years, Gwen Olson lived an unintentional lie. Working as a pharmaceutical sales rep for some of today's largest pharmaceutical manufacturers, including Johnson & Johnson, Bristol-Myers Squibb, Abbott Laboratories, etc. But through a gradual course of tragic events, Olson's eyes were eventually opened to the unethical and tyrannical truth about pharmaceutical drugs. And now she's written about her years as a pharmaceutical sales rep, exposing the dirty secrets of the industry that often go unspoken. And she's written a lovely book. Gwen Olson's tell-all book is titled Confessions of an RX Drug Pusher. So, for any of you guys out there that think that the big pharmaceutical companies are out there for our benefit and to help us, then I think we need to look at it again. There are lots of people who think that they're trying to help people, and that's a different question. But yeah, when we look at whistleblowers like this and start to really get the big picture, it's quite an eye-opener, everybody. So yeah, watch out for those, because the pharmaceuticals generally across the board, painkillers, the birth control pill, obviously any antibiotics, and any other pharmaceuticals, whilst they may help some people, quite often they just damage your microbiome. So watch out for that, guys. It's just another thing that we need to just be aware of, because once we can see it, we can like bing, open our eyes and go, okay, I see you, and I'm not going there, okay? And then we can use the food as the medicine, and then we can all live happily ever after. I know I'm naive, I know I'm idealistic, I don't care. What I'm saying is, go to timelesscookery.com and sign up for one of my fabulous online cooking courses, because it's 12 weeks of dedication and devotion to GAPS, gut and psychology syndrome, which is the brainchild of Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride, who brought her own vaccine-damaged son back to a state of fully functioning using food as medicine. So it is entirely possible to tackle a lot of our symptoms that come from autoimmune diseases, inflammatory diseases, chronic conditions of any description really, including heart disease and diabetes. We're getting some great results with using the food as the medicine. It's quite high saturated fat. It's very low refined carbohydrate. But it doesn't mean no carbohydrates, because we can have honey and dates and all sorts of other yummy things, and nuts and seeds, but all prepared properly, and lots of soups and stews and fermented dairy. It's an extraordinarily nourishing, delicious way to eat, and actually it can help us detox from all of these nasty hidden toxins in our environment, the glyphosate and whatnot, and these pharmaceuticals, which sometimes we take in good faith, thinking they will make us better, and sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't, and they are just another added layer of toxicity for your body to get rid of. So I'm just trying to make your lives a lot easier and help you guys get out of pain and feel nice, and just be aware. And I'm sending you all love and healing vibes, and go to timelesscookery.com. Hey, next week I'll be doing this from France, because we're going to France to do our GAPS retreat. It's very exciting. Got people coming. I'm going to feed them for a whole 2 weeks, and we're going to just talk GAPS and get on it, and it's going to be fabulous. So I'll see you from France next week. Okay, guys.